What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. Today, we've got a harvest video. I'm really excited for today's episode because we're gonna be harvesting peas. Our very first harvest of peas this year. It is always a great crop. I love peas, both fresh and in things like stir fries. As you know, Mrs. MIgardener and I have been striving to go plant-based, and one of the things that going plant-based has been a real struggle for us is Asian food. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Asian food. So stir fries are something we make on the regular, and it's so awesome to have fresh snow peas because, oh my goodness, in the store, I mean, it's almost like this with anything, but in the store, snow peas they're so soft and limp and leathery, and oh my gosh, the sweetness and the crunch from a fresh snow pea just cannot be beat. So I'm really excited to get these, and I'm stoked that they've lasted this long because we got a late start to our peas, and of course we planted a later maturing pea on top of starting late, so it's like a double whammy. And I'm just really happy that against all odds they've managed to survive, and I can attribute that to one thing, folks, one thing that I think is a take home for everyone. That, as you can see, some of the broccoli, or not the broccoli, but the cabbage, we have some Napa cabbage here that has gone to bolt, as well as our other cabbages here that are doing great. And we have our kale and our Swiss chard over here. So we have a lot of large leafed crops. Our cabbage are huge leaves. The Swiss chard and the kale have large leaves, and they're all kind of sprawling about. And coming vertically out of the garden is our peas, as you'll see here, and they're just growing vertically right through the mass of leaves and foliage. And what that does is it's a wonderful intercropping because the peas, they're a crop that's kind of they're not very wide, they're very spindly, so they don't take up that much space, and we're growing them right in the middle of our two crops, and our two crops on either side are actually shading out the soil so that the soil stays cooler, prevents evaporation. And even on days like this, like we are on our 6th day of above 95 degrees, and I don't know about you, if you're living here in Michigan or you're local, I am so ready for the heat to die down. I mean, it's relentless. We can't really go outside. Geneva can't really go outside. It's not a lot of fun, to be honest. So I really quick wanted to show you just this intercropping here. So as you can see, we've got this gorgeous kale here. There's also a really obnoxious shadow here, so you can't see a whole lot. I'm sorry about that, but you got the kale here, and the kale is just doing wonderfully here. We have the Napa cabbage has kind of gone to seed, but it's still edible, and it's still going to be used for kimchi, but that's growing up. It's got giant leaves as well. And then coming over here, you can see we've got the Swiss chard, and the Swiss chard is just loving it over here. And what this has really done is it's done a twofold thing. So the leaves have shaded out the soil. So the soil is nice and damp still. In fact, we haven't had a rain in about 3 days, and it still has some moisture to it. And that is keeping these beans safe from drying out and frying. And also what it's done is it's created a wall that has then shaded out this Swiss chard from the hot afternoon sun. And then it's also created a wall that has shaded out the kale from the hot, late morning sun. And so this kind of 12 o'clock divider wall is also being protected from either side. And this is what I like to consider a smart planting. They don't really know that they're benefiting from each other, but by planting them closely together, they are benefiting from each other. They really don't notice the peas don't notice that the kale is here, and the kale does not notice that the peas are here, but what they do notice is that it's cooler in the late morning, and the Swiss chard notices that it's cooler in the late afternoon, and the peas notice that the soil is damp, but they are just coexisting so perfectly, and I love that. And what do you think about the garden? My goodness, it is just taking off. The whole garden has just exploded in the past couple weeks, and I couldn't be happier. I am absolutely thrilled with the growth that we've had. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think it's time for a garden tour one of these days. So let me know in the comments box below if you want a garden tour, and we'll make it happen. All right, let's start harvesting these peas. I like to pick the peas young, especially if they're snow peas. but even when they're young, look at how big these seeds are here, or these pods. The seeds inside are not developed yet, so they're, the peas inside are just real small, keeps things tender. And I'll tell you what, mammoth snow pea definitely lives up to its name. Look at that, just look how big those things are. And productive, absolutely. These suckers are just huge. And these peas are really just coming into fruition right now. We are not, we are not actually in the prime flush of peas. This first harvest is always the smallest, and then as they grow, they've got a whole bunch more flowers here that'll be coming out. If we can keep these alive and keep them thriving, we're going to have an even more substantial harvest in the next couple days. And peas are something that they produce so much in such a short period of time that I mean, you can really get a lot of bang for your buck. Not to mention these shoots, the top tender shoots here, we absolutely love to cook these up as well. They're tender, they're great protein source, they are a great fiber source, and also they are really great in salads and things like that raw. So give them a shot. They're also great as like microgreens and sprouts, but certainly something worth trying because every part of this plant is edible. The shoots, the leaves, the flowers, even obviously the pods. So it is just a great, very versatile plant that we love to take advantage of here at the garden. So there you go. I hope you all enjoyed this harvest video. It's definitely a modest harvest, but I'll tell you what, this many peas will certainly feed Mrs. MIgardener and I for at least a meal, and we're gonna get the most out of this, which is it's just awesome. It's so much fun to grow your own food, regardless of how large the harvest is. And like I said, the next harvest is going to be even bigger. So really excited about this. Definitely hope that you try the snow pea. The mammoth snow pea can be found at MIgardener.com. We've got seeds for it over there. We also have it in our store if you're local. So recommend checking it out. The sun just came out in a super fierce way. So I don't want to get any more sunburn than I already am. I got to go get some water because I'm sweating. But we'll catch you all on the next video. We're going to be harvesting our garlic. So I'll catch you all later on the next episode. This is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to wear sunscreen, at least if you're going outside for more than 15 minutes. Stay hydrated, water in the morning and the evening, and grow big or go home. I'm wiped. See ya. Bye.